Hi, hello Yvie.
Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, yeah, great. So today's session is going to be really exciting. We're going to talk about Pluto, how its movements in the sky impact us individually and collectively, and we're going to look at the fact that it went direct on the 14th of October and how that changes it works for us, for everybody.
It's very exciting.
It is. So I've been feeling this shift for a while, have you? This kind of movement from retrograde to direct.
I have, yeah. It's something that's been gathering momentum and it's finally ready to move forward, I feel. I think it's important to understand, though, that retrograde motion is actually an optical illusion.
Yeah. A lot of people don't or haven't had the opportunity to understand this. Pluto never actually reverses in space. The planets don't go backwards. It just appears that way from where we are, from Earth, because it's where we are in our orbit compared to where Pluto is. Like when you're on a train and the one next to you starts moving.
Yeah, and for a moment you think you're going backwards.
Yeah.
But astrologically, that shift in perspective is actually really valuable. During retrograde, we're doing the internal processing, the behind the scenes work.
Yeah, and when it goes direct, that internal work starts showing up in the real world.
Yeah.
That's why the direct station can feel so energizing. It's like everything you've been working on internally is ready to manifest, to come into reality.
Yeah. Which brings us to why Pluto in Aquarius is such an exciting time. We're talking about the planet of transformation, spending 20 years in the sign of innovation, community, and building better systems.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing. It's like that friend who says, why are we still doing it this way? Let's try something completely new. People are ready now to change and to do things differently. But here's what's interesting. Aquarius is a fixed sign. So whilst it loves innovation, it also has really good staying power once it commits to a direction.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're not just talking about random change, we're talking about sustained revolutionary transformation that will build new structures.
Yeah, and one of the biggest themes is power redistribution.
Yes.
Pluto in Capricorn showed us what wasn't working in the traditional institutions. When it was direct in Capricorn, it brought everything, the corruption, the secrets, up to the surface, to the light.
Exactly.
I always think of Pluto retrograde as a man in black, working away with a silver shovel deep in a cave system. And when it turns direct, I see him emerging, his arms full of everything he's found, and moving from the cave into the sunlight, ready to reveal what's been hidden.
Yes, exactly. No more hiding in the shadows.
Yeah, absolutely. So if Pluto was a person, how do you think he'd be? Let's have a play around with Pluto. What's he like?
Yeah, I think he's quite a guarded individual, someone who likes to watch from the outside before he makes his moves.
Very intense. If he was a man, a person, and we encountered him, say, at a party, you'd notice this very intense gaze standing from the corner in the shadows of the room, just watching everybody, waiting carefully, cautious, but actually always building up some sense of power.
Absolutely, yeah. Those power dynamics are important within that situation for him. But he also has a lot of unique contributions to make because he sees the truth. And he's not scared of the dark within himself or in the world around him.
So those are the qualities of Pluto. And if we put those into a character of a man or a person,
embodied.
That's how he'd be embodied. Thank you, that's a better word.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, and within our birth charts, and when he's transiting around our birth chart, he has a huge influence, especially when he changes direction.
Absolutely. And I mean, technology is absolutely central to this stationing. Aquarius rules technology and innovation, so we're going to see truly incredible breakthroughs, but also important conversations about how we use technology wisely.
Yeah, and Pluto direct in Aquarius is asking, who's in control?
Yeah.
I love that. And it's very powerful that who is in control? Who's in charge of us? How do we share power more fairly? How can we create systems that serve everybody? What can we do differently? And in Aquarius, what can we do differently thinking outside of the box? And also, who owns our data? How do we use AI ethically? How do we stay connected without becoming disconnected from ourselves?
Yes.
These are exciting questions that we get to answer together.
Yeah, and that's what I love. I have Moon in Aquarius, so I really resonate with this transit. Aquarius is all about the collective, about community, about us figuring things out together. And it isn't about top-down change, it's grassroots movements, it's decentralised networks, and it's people connecting and creating solutions together.
Yeah, oh, that's so exciting. Community organising, mutual aid networks, innovations that truly serve humanity, serves all of us. And when people come together with a shared vision and with the power of Pluto direct, we bring on unique gifts to the table.
Exactly. And healthy Aquarian energy actually honours both the individual and the collective. You don't have to lose yourself to be something bigger, and you can bring unique gifts to the table.
And that's when the real magic happens.
Absolutely.
Which brings us to collective consciousness. How would you define collective consciousness, Yvie?
It's being on the same level and working as a team and having the same goals and vision, a shared perspective.
And there's compassion in that, isn't there? There's consideration for each other and for the cause and for the goal. And this transit is waking us up how interconnected we all are. We're recognising that we're all in this together. Climate change, global health, social justice, all of it requires collaborative, positive and powerful solutions.
Yeah, and now Pluto is direct. We're actually moving from thinking about this, from thinking in isolation about this, to actually getting together as a group and taking a group directed action on what we want to see changed.
So let's talk about what this means for individuals specifically.
Yeah.
Because wherever Pluto is transiting in your personal birth chart, that's where you get to experience really powerful transformation. But Yvie, I think we should explain exactly what transits are.
Yeah. It's a very good point. So when we talk about transits, we're talking about where the planets are in the sky right now, as opposed to where they were when you were born. Your birth chart is like a snapshot of the heavens at the moment you arrived. It's frozen in time.
And the planets keep moving. So transiting planets, those planets continuing their journey through the zodiac. And as they move, they interact with your planets, your planetary placings in your birth chart.
Yeah.
It's a bit like having a foundation for a house. That's your birth chart. And then the weather patterns moving through the house and around the house's environment are the transits.
Exactly. And your birth chart is divided into 12 sections called houses, each representing a different area of life. So when we say Pluto is transiting your 7th house, we mean Pluto is currently moving through the section of your chart that deals with partnerships and relationships.
And how do people know what house Pluto is transiting for them?
Yeah. So you need to know your birth time to get an understanding of where Pluto is for you personally and how it will impact you. If you have that, drop us a message at AstroCompass or email info@astrocompass.co.uk with your date, place and approximate time of birth, and we'll be happy to enlighten you.
And understanding where this transit is happening for you personally makes it so much more relevant, and this will help you to navigate these exciting and transformational times.
Absolutely. So if Pluto's moving through your 11th house, for example, you might find yourself drawn to new communities, different friend groups, or becoming involved in causes you're passionate about. Your whole social world could expand in exciting ways.
That sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
And if it's in your 7th house, for example, your relationships may evolve. You might discover new depths in partnerships, attract people who are more aligned with your authentic self. There's a depth to those relationships, isn't it, if it's in the 7th house?
Yeah.
You'll find yourself creating more balanced, equal relationships, especially with regard to power, because Pluto governs power.
Yes.
Actually, I've got Pluto transiting my 7th house right now, and now it's direct. My husband and I seem to be more in love and more in tune than ever, which is lovely.
That's such a lovely example of how Pluto transforms that area of life. The 7th house is about committed partnerships, so Pluto there can bring someone incredibly significant into your life, or it can completely transform an existing relationship into something deeper and actually more authentic.
Exactly. We've always been close. But yeah, you're right. It's like when we first met 30 years ago. With Pluto moving through this house, also we have to remember that it can also mean for some people letting go of relationships that no longer serve them, that perhaps
Absolutely.
are imbalanced in some way, or aren't serving personal growth.
Yeah, allowing them to naturally fall away.
Yeah. And
you know, Pluto's always asking, is this authentic? Is this aligned with who, you want to become? And if the answer is no, it helps you release it to make space for what is. 10th house transits are brilliant for career reinvention. You might finally make a step into your true calling, or create work that's more meaningful, or perhaps find a way to make a bigger impact in your current field. It's about authentic professional expression.
Definitely. And if it's in the 4th house, it could mean transforming your home life, your relationship with your family, or creating the kind of domestic sanctuary that you've been craving. Really getting clear about what home means to you.
Yeah. And I mean, what I find really empowering is that Pluto direct gives you the energy to make changes you've been thinking about for a long time. The things you've been putting off, things that felt impossible, suddenly feel doable. You find that inner strength, that reserve of strength deep within you.
Yeah, you do. You have this inner strength you didn't even know you had. And you become willing to release what's not working and ready to step into something better. I always think that the phoenix from the ashes is a good analogy for Pluto direct. Even if the last 6 months have been challenging for you, you'll find the strength now to rise up and make the changes you need.
Yeah, absolutely. So how can people work with this energy constructively? First, pay attention to what's naturally ending or evolving in your life, what's feeling stale or finished. Pluto helps you to let go gracefully and make space for something new.
And have the courage to move forward, but also be curious about your triggers, your shadows, the parts of you that you're hiding from yourself. When something really bothers you, ask yourself, what is this showing me about myself? What might I be learning here? It's all information that helps us grow. Our experiences show us what we need to learn about ourselves. I mean, do we need to develop courage? Do we need to be more tolerant of our own perceived failings? Do we need to rebalance power imbalances?
Yeah, and it's about embracing, I think, innovation in your own personal life, thinking outside the box, trying new technologies that may genuinely help you, experiment with new ways of doing things. And it's important to stay curious and flexible in how you approach your life.
And really connect with the people who accept you, who are authentic. Be ready to face your own shadows, those parts of you that are deeply hidden in your unconscious, and find your people, your tribe. Aquarius energy thrives in collaborative movements and environments.
Yeah, absolutely. And also about, I think it's important for people to remember to honour individuality and connection to others. You don't have to choose between being yourself and being part of something bigger, something, larger than you. Both matter.
Yeah, they do. And what about when changes feel really intense or overwhelming? Because transformation can be a lot sometimes.
It can be. It's really important to ground yourself in your body. Aquarius energy very much lives in the mind, its ideas, its concepts. So movement, nature, physical activities will help you stay balanced. Going for walks, dancing, doing yoga, whatever feels good. And here's the thing. It's really important to not be afraid of this energy. It's so important to embrace the power that Pluto is offering you. This is where your true transformation lies.
A lot of people fear Pluto because it's associated with intensity and change. It's also associated with death, but we have to remember that death can come in different forms. It can be it's an ending. That's
rebirth.
What it is. Yeah, and a rebirth too. And I think that Pluto gives you access to your own deep power. It's like discovering you have resources within yourself you never knew existed.
Exactly. And when you stop resisting and instead say, I'm ready to transform, I'm ready to step into my power, that's when the true magic happens. Pluto genuinely respects courage, and it rewards people who are willing to face themselves honestly and embrace their own strength.
And we're not talking about ego strength or control. No. We're talking about inner strength, aren't we?
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not about dominating others. It's about knowing who you are, standing in your truth and contributing from that authentic place. That's real power.
And this is the time to start having deep conversations with trusted friends, as that helps you process what you're experiencing too on a deeper level.
And transformation doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle shifts in perspective, small changes that accumulate over time. Quiet evolutions that lead somewhere beautiful.
Or perhaps quiet revolutions, maybe. The key with Pluto and Aquarius is stay open to possibility. This is about expanding what you think is possible for yourself, for your communities, for humanity.
You get to be part of building something new. Your ideas matter, your contributions count. Your willingness to imagine different ways of doing things is valuable.
Absolutely. And I mean, speaking of different ways of being, what does this transit mean for neurodivergent people? Because Aquarius is the sign of being unconventional and thinking differently, isn't it?
I mean, this is really exciting. Aquarius energy naturally celebrates different ways of thinking. So we're likely to see much more recognition of how valuable neurodivergent perspectives are.
Yes. Pluto transforms what the collective values. And Aquarius says, different isn't wrong, it's necessary. Neurodivergent people often see systems from unique angles, which is exactly what we need when we're reimagining how things work.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And the innovations and the opportunities there, the technology in education, in work structures, those are going to come from people who think outside traditional boxes. And neurodivergent people have been doing that their whole lives, and perhaps it's time for us to embrace that and allow them their power.
Yeah, they are very important members of society. And technology here could also be incredibly helpful. Tools for communication, different ways to access information, remote work options that suit different needs. We're actually moving towards accommodating diverse minds, which is incredible.
Which means neurodivergent people need to be involved in designing these new systems.
Yeah, they do.
Not just participating, but leading conversations because they understand what actually works for different brains.
Yeah, and the different way of perceiving and processing could be exactly what helps solve the problems that have stumped neurotypical approaches, and that's the gift of cognitive diversity.
And for the neurotypical people listening, recognise that different ways of thinking bring different solutions.
Yes.
The future we're building needs all types of minds to contribute.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of ADHD specifically, something interesting I think is happening. Like better diagnosis means we're finally recognising ADHD in women, for example, adults, people who've been masking. But there's something else going on.
There is. So technology in our modern environment are actually affecting everybody's brains.
Yeah.
Constant notifications, social media, quick cut videos. Research shows that this is changing our neural pathways in our brains for everyone. So our focus is not as concrete as it used to be, or as defined.
Yeah, so we have like more fragmented attention now, which means people are becoming more aware of what ADHD has always felt like, and there's more understanding and empathy.
And there's something fascinating as well. Many ADHD brains are naturally good at things this new world requires.
Yeah.
Pattern recognition across multiple information streams, rapid task switching, hyper focus on interesting topics, innovative thinking. They're all hugely valuable assets.
Yeah, like I agree. Though I think we should be clear that ADHD also comes with real challenges. Executive function, emotional regulation, sensory overwhelm. These are genuinely difficult and shouldn't be dismissed.
And it's not either or. With regards to every personality aspect or facet, there can be both challenges and strengths.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that many ADHD brains have been trying to function in rigid linear systems that weren't designed for how they process information. I often think back in history when we lived in small villages and tribes, that perhaps when everybody had a different but diverse talent that contributed to the well-being of the community, perhaps the people who were neurodivergent actually found their place more easily, rather than putting these into these very rigid systems that demanded that they... Somebody said the other day that the world wants us to go into a sausage machine and wants us to come out sausage shaped.
Everyone coming out the same, exactly, which is technically impossible.
And this is what Pluto and Aquarius is doing. It's okay to be a different shape.
Yeah. You don't have to fit in the box. Yeah. Linear thinking, I mean, sitting still for hours, focusing on one thing without stimulation. That's very traditional, outdated, conventional structure. It's amazing that we're actually now finally moving towards more flexible systems that are actually more tailored.
Yeah, and there's room for different ways of working and thinking. Remote work, flexible schedules, multiple projects, creative approaches. These actually suit many neurodivergent minds well.
Yeah.
I'll write that.
No, yeah. I mean, the conversation is shifting from like what's wrong with you to how can systems work better for you? How can we shape it around you? And that's very Aquarian, valuing diversity and creating an inclusive sense of structure in this world.
And if you have ADHD, your challenges are real and valid. Medication, accommodation, support, whatever helps you thrive is important, but also recognise that your particular strengths might be increasingly valued as we move forward in the world.
Yeah, you are valued, and your ability to see patterns, make creative connections, and think outside of this standard box, these are gifts. And as systems become more flexible and diverse, there'll be more and more space for you to bring your unique perspective, and it will be required for us to make these changes in how we want to see our world.
Yeah. And for neurotypical people, recognise that difference doesn't mean less than. ADHD brains process differently, which brings up different insights. We need cognitive diversity to build truly innovative systems.
Absolutely. So let's bring this home with practical guidance. How do we navigate this Pluto and Aquarius era in a way that feels good? What do you think?
Well, first think about where you want to see change in your life. Your friendships, your work, your relationship with technology, your creative projects. Pluto gives you the energy to actually make those changes.
Yeah, I mean, experiment. I think that's a really key word here. Try new approaches, explore different communities, go to new groups, mix with different types of people, test out innovations that intrigue you. Aquarius loves experimentation, and Pluto is giving you the courage to try.
Contribute your gifts. Pluto's giving you that power to do that, whether it's in your local community, online groups, your workplace, your family. Find ways to share what you're good at. Your contributions matter.
Yes, you're right. It's the 11th house where Pluto, 11th house rules Aquarius. So there's a feeling of there's more chance to be able to develop online work and connect with people through internet.
Yeah. But also Pluto calls for authenticity, not superficial, shallow media relationships, but authentic relationships via technology.
Some depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, we need to stay curious and open. I mean, this is a 20-year journey of collective evolution, and that's how long Pluto is going to be in the sign of Aquarius. You don't need to figure out everything today. Just stay engaged with what's unfolding in your life. And here's something really important. Bring your ideas and emotions into the light. That which was hidden, like we've said before, but it's so important, is to bring out what was hidden during retrograde period. It's ready to emerge, and you have the strength now.
Yeah, during the retrograde, you may have been processing things privately, working through feelings internally, or developing ideas quietly. You may have felt blocked. You may have felt frustrated. Yeah. Now that Pluto's direct, it's time to share those insights, express those feelings, and put those ideas into action.
Exactly, like what you've been incubating almost. That's the sense and how I see it. During the retrograde isn't meant to stay hidden. It's now, there's a green light. We're asking to be bringing these gifts out into the world. And that creative project, that difficult conversation that you've been avoiding, that new vision, now is the time to actually manifest it.
Yeah, that's really well put. And you might be surprised how ready you are. The internal work you did during the retrograde has prepared you. You're not bringing things out prematurely. You've done the processing. Now it's time for manifestation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important for us to all remember we need to take care of ourselves through these changes. Change is exciting, but it also requires energy. Rest when you need to. Connect with people who support you and nourish you, and do things that ground you.
Yeah, that's good advice. And the beautiful thing about Pluto and Aquarius is that we're all in this together. You're not transforming alone. We're all part of a collective evolution towards something better.
Yeah, and every small change you make, every new connection you form, every innovative idea you explore, it's all part of building the future. You matter in this, individually and collectively.
And that's the Aquarian paradox, isn't it?
Yeah.
You matter as an individual, your unique contribution, your special gifts, your personal journey of transformation. But you also matter as part of the collective. Your actions ripple out. Your changes inspire others. Your innovations contribute to the whole.
Yeah, you're never actually transforming in isolation with an Aquarius transit. When you step into your power, when you embrace your authenticity and contribute your gifts, it's going to affect the whole collective field, and you're raising the vibration for everyone on Earth.
And likewise, the collective transformation supports your individual growth. So we're like branches of a tree, aren't we? So
all interconnected.
Yeah. And when you step into your power and systems become more inclusive, as communities become more innovative, as we collectively value diversity, that creates space for your personal evolution too.
Absolutely. It's like a beautiful feedback loop. Individual transformation feeds collective evolution, which then supports more individual growth. That's the magic of Pluto and Aquarius. We're rising together.
From the ashes.
Exactly.
And honestly, that's the gift of being alive during this transit. We get to participate in reimagining what's possible. How brilliant is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. So let's embrace the changes, trust the process, stay connected to our communities, and remember, we're building something extraordinary together.
Bring it on, I say, bring it on.
That's the spirit. The future is literally being created right now, and we all get to be a part of it. Don't forget you can message or email AstroCompass if you'd like to know how Pluto Direct is influencing you right now.
And we'll be posting more podcasts every 2 weeks. We're going to work our way through each planet, role-playing how each planet in your birth chart influences you and your life path. We're going to start with Lilith, which is kind of unusual. She's an unknown part of the birth chart, but we think she's really exciting, and it'd be a good introduction to our planet rundown as we move through the weeks. Lilith is the feminine warrior. She's the rebel. She's the power, and there's a similar energy to Pluto, so we thought it was appropriate to work with Lilith.
Absolutely, and she's a rebel, in that Aquarian sense.
Yeah. And then after we've looked at Lilith, our podcast will be about the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And we'll also probably talk about the Ascendant and Midheaven as well. So stay tuned and wait for our next podcast.
It was lovely to speak with you.
And you. Bye.
Bye.